capacities, but I feel like in general, a hero is someone who has the ability to like help others or like be selfless and benefit like a group of like innocent people and like does it. I think like that saying that like anyone can be a hero. I feel like that's true to some capacity because everyone can make someone else's life better in like some way. But I think like also in the greater sense, heroes like in comic books and stuff are people who have like exaggerated abilities and they use those exaggerated abilities for like good.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Like that sense of having like that good in you. Like almost everyone has like good in them. Which I guess you could say is why people say anyone can be in a sense a hero. And like Dominic said, having those good morals and like I guess acting upon those good morals. Like in a sense of like what actions make a hero. That's where you see it a lot, is like the people who like they use their like I guess you could I don't know how you would say it, like they look at the morals they have and like when they encounter a situation that challenges it, like they act rightly upon it.
Yeah.
But so okay, as Oscar mentioned, there's like heroes in the fictional sense, but then there's also heroes in the real world. Which one do you guys want to dive into first?
I'd say. What do you think, Oscar?
I was going to ask you should answer. I was going to ask you to answer.
I guess we could go for like the comic book superhero route first, the fictional ones.
All right. So, in the fictional sense, let's see what we'll cover. We'll cover. I guess fiction covers almost anything that's not realistic, but for us at least, I think when we think of heroes, we're probably gonna think of comics, movies, anime, stuff like that. Video games. So, I guess what are some general traits that you see in people who are portrayed as the heroes in the fictional sense? I know Oscar said exaggerated abilities, so that may be like superpowers, But what else do we see?
I think, I'm not sure if this is like a specific trait for all the heroes, but like for example, Superman, I think what others might follow is like them trying to hide themselves, like the true selves. For some reason, I'm not sure why.
Are you talking about like concealing their identity or something different?
Concealing their identity, seeming like the good guy.
Okay.
Aside from that, there's as well as the obvious like bravery, being courageous, being able to stop crime or like save someone in the nick of time.
I think another common trait you can give to them is usually they'll have like some type of how would you say, like dramatic or like emotional backstory to them, and it kind of like leads to why they're a hero, kind of like how we said in the sense of a villain, a lot of times they have a backstory and that's kind of like how like they ended up becoming a villain, But it's the same with a hero, a lot of times you'll see heroes with tragic or like dramatic backstories, and because of that, that's what like led them to becoming a hero.
Yeah.
I guess some common examples you can throw out there are like Spider-Man with Uncle Ben dying. That kind of like that didn't lead to him becoming Spider-Man, obviously, but like the death and like what Uncle Ben had taught him is what led him to becoming that hero that he is,
Yeah.
What other ones could you think of?
Batman.
Batman with his parents, yeah. What about you, Don? Can you think of a good example?
Honestly, bro, I don't really have a clue. I could just start throwing in names.
Well, let's do that. Who are some of your favorite heroes in the fictional sense?
we have Thor, uh, we have the Hulk, we have the Iron Man. But does Iron Man really have? I mean, Iron Man does have some sort of reason why he fights with the Avengers, right? Aside from him being an absolute.
Like, drawn out in the first movie.
The first scenes of the movie are absolute faint to me.
I mean, they were over like a decade ago.
Yeah.
What about let's see. What about video games, Dominic? Can you think of any good heroes from a video game?
Video games, eh? Honestly, I haven't been playing that many.
I can give you one.
Hero story video games, aside from like the shooters. You know,
I can give you one that's like, it's funny once I explain it to you.
What is it?
Let's talk about Red from Pokemon Red. The fact that you assume he's like, what, I think anywhere between like 10 and 13, and yet, you think, oh, the simple goal of the game is just to go catch Pokemon and beat the gym leaders, but he's a hero in the sense that this anywhere from 10 to 13-year-olds stops this gang called Team Rocket, from abusing Pokemon and trying to take over the region. I think it's a good example here, but it's also a funny one because, like, think about that. That's the whole basis of Pokemon, is a 13-year-old stopping a freaking huge gang, criminal gang,
Right.
What else would you say makes some good traits for you? Like what to you? What makes a good hero? As like the original question was stating, like what makes you like look at a character, for the fictional sense? What makes you look at a character? What traits and stuff do they have that like makes you look at it and go, yeah, I really like this type of character for like a hero,
Right. I think what I would say is basically how they question their morality in terms of basic human logic, in terms of thinking about what happened, what would be the best possible like outcome for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, aside from thinking of themselves, they also think about everyone having the best possible outcome in terms of a dangerous situation. Like, I remember there's this image, this funny image of like there's a child like on some railroad train tracks, and it's just Superman stopping the train, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would think, oh, Superman is an okay guy because he saved the kid, but on the other hand, he just killed a bunch of people on the train when he could have just swooped the kid out of there.
Yeah, I have seen that meme where it's like, yeah, I have seen that, where it's like he could have simply saved the kid, but he like stops the train at such force that it looks like it like becomes all crunched up.
And he just kills a bunch of the conductors, the passengers.
Yeah. What about you, Oscar?
I feel like when it comes to like the grander, like more powerful heroes, in a weird way, I feel like their best trait is like their compulsion and like their obsession with being a hero. It makes them selfish and selfless, because in a lot of like more like mature depictions of heroes, like Dark Knight, even they like hurt or like endanger people in their personal lives because of like or like Batman in that case, is like endangering people in his personal life, and kind of like makes it so that he doesn't have that many people in his personal life because he knows how dangerous it could be like for them, and he knows like he'll never stop like with trying to like stop crime because it's like an obsession for him. And I feel like I whenever I root for like the heroes, it's because a lot of the time it's not because I really want them to save the day. It's because I want them to like finish their goal, because they're like so obsessed with it that it's like destroying them in a weird way. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually is really good, and I think another thing kind of similar to like I guess both of your guys' ideas. Like when you see that like the character or like is like questioning themselves, questioning their approach to being a hero. I guess that really sticks with a lot of people because that's kind of like how everyday life is. Constantly in that battle of deciding what's the best decision to make.
Yeah.
And I guess we can kind of transition that into now the real life sense, with real life heroes of the world, and a lot of what they go through. I mean, I don't know, what do you, when you hear like real life, when you hear hero and think of it in the real life sense, what are some of the first things that come to mind for you?
For me, I would say like the firefighters, like first team, like responders, like the medics, doctors, people like on the front lines of the field when it comes to like dangerous situations.
Yeah, especially here in California, we get that firsthand because of all. I mean, we talked about last time, Dominic, all the fires that go on.
Yeah, the wildfires.
Yeah, it's like all the teams of firefighters that to go out and make sure they put them out for everyone else's safety.
Yeah.
Or they like a burning building, they have to run in and try and get whoever's in there out and stuff. And like, again, you can compare them to fictional heroes in the sense of they have just extraordinary strength because I think we've all kind of seen it when they do the breakdown of like all the gear a firefighter has to take in and how much their gear weighs and stuff.
Yeah.
To be able to do their job and stuff like that, to save lives through all that while carrying all that weight, while being in those high stress situations, yeah, I think they're definitely heroes in my eyes too. What about you, Oscar? What are like when you think of real life heroes? What do you think of?
Well, definitely like first responders and stuff, because like you're always running the risk of injury or like potentially losing your life, and then definitely like medical workers, especially now when it's like at this point, if you're a medical worker, like you're almost guaranteed to get like COVID and like risking your family and help a lot of them do it just because of their jobs. I also think it's like any job where like you like benefiting society and probably not getting as much like what is it? Not respect, but like recognition. I say like especially for like a lot of teachers who like are underpaid, but like they like being teachers, or even like janitors, because like they're like the cogs in the machine that keep everything like working. A lot of people who I've talked to who do like a lot of service jobs probably don't make the most money, but they're like proud of what they do, and like they have like choices to make more money, but they'd rather not, because it's like they like being a part of, they like contributing to society and being like a part of its like inner machinations.
Yeah, definitely, especially like right now, like you said, medical workers definitely are being heroes right now, especially because working in those situations, again, it's high stress, and it's also like you got to worry because not only if you catch COVID, and you got to worry not only if, like if you catch it, giving it to your family members, but then imagine like giving it to some of the patients that don't have it in those hospitals, Like imagine having to worry about all the other patients in the hospital that if they catch you, they'll be put in a worse situation than they might already be in, And going back to what you said about like a lot of, I guess you could call them unsung heroes of society, How many times have we seen, like Oscar said, they don't get like as much recognition, but also how much have like we seen many specific job areas where people can be considered heroes not get enough respect either. I mean, how many times have you seen people essentially insult like janitors and garbage men, like telling like I think we've all seen like that comic where it's like the mom tells her kid to like stay in school so she doesn't end up like the man like taking the garbage, and it's like that's kind of insulting because I mean they're the ones keeping our places clean, especially during these times, janitors having to keep everything clean so that like people can be safe and